Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, A Whole Ton Of. If you haven't seen already, I got a Tesla Model Y and went on a 4,600 mile long cross-country road trip. The first part of that saga is in the video above if you want to check that out. My fiance and I took our two dogs on a road trip that started in Arkansas, went down to Texas, up to the Grand Canyon, to Las Vegas, through Colorado, and back down to Arkansas. As you can imagine, after driving through desert, rain, and snow, the car was going to get dirty. But just how much wear and tear did we see over this 2-week, 4,600 mile long road trip? And more importantly, the real question, are the white seats still white? Well, this video is going to show you our deep clean after this big trip and how the exterior and interior is holding up after we basically lived in it for 2 weeks. In a future video, we'll be doing an overall review of the Tesla Model Y since we really got to know it over this trip. So if you want to see that video and future content like that, you know what to do. Also, since the earnings call was just yesterday, and we just heard about the new Tesla Model S and Model X refresh, I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, here are some pictures here. I'm really loving the simplicity that they carried over. The steering wheel might be kind of weird in my opinion, but check out these back seats. It looks so amazing. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Tesla Model S and Model X refresh once you get a chance to look at that. I'm kind of excited. I kind of want a Model S now myself. But all right, let's clean our Tesla Model Y, Cardi T. Hey YouTube, so we just finished our 2-week 4,000 mile long road trip, and as you guys can see, we're at the car wash right now. We don't wash at home because we live in an apartment, so we take it here, we do a little bit of our own scrubbing, but you guys will see the process as we go. I just want to show you guys what the car looked like before we wash it after that 2-week long road trip going across the western part of the country, and then what it's going to look like after, to see if the white seats actually was able to hold up and the interior looks good as well as the exterior. Let's take a look inside, let's wash the car, and then let's look at how it looks like after it's all cleaned up. So as you guys can see, we still have the dog hammock back here, but if you take a look over here, look at all that dog hair just collecting, and it's all mostly mojo. Bunch of trash that we have to pick up, of course, but we're gonna have to do interior and exterior cleaning. Look at that window, it's dirty from his nose. We're gonna have to wipe down our foot step. You can see how dirty that all is. Bunch of hair that we'll have to vacuum up, as well as cleaning that up. This is one angle that we'll try to get before and after so you guys can see. Hopefully it focuses enough where you guys can see how dirty. We can see the creases, which we're probably not going to be able to get rid of, but you can see how dirty the seat is in general. Alright, so let's get this car clean. Let's pull it into a bay and start washing it. Here you guys can see that we brought our own buckets. We tried to do the 2-bucket method. If we can even open this.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Alright, so you guys saw that we had a top. We finally got it off. We filled this up with some warm water from our actual bathtub. And the reason for that is because we want to be able to use our mitts to actually scrub. We've used the brush before. And we have PPF, so we're just trying to be as careful as possible with not damaging that PPF. It's not so much damaging, but like tearing it off. Maybe the bristle of a scrub of the brush will get caught on an edge of it and it might rip it off. We want to make sure that it stays stuck on. But other than that, the PPF helps protect against scratches, so at least we have a benefit of the PPF there. Alright, so we have our grit guard. We only have one of them, but basically we're going to be using this for rinsing off the dirty water. So what we're going to do, since we have a bucket full of water and one bucket that's not full of water, we'll take this out real quick. We'll make this our soap bucket. So we're using Chemical Guys soap, and here is our bucket full of materials. We have mitts for washing, we have a bunch of towels for drying, but right now we just need the soap at this point. Throw a little bit of that in if it comes out. So I threw a little bit of that in so that when we mix water in, it'll make it all sudsy. So we're about to put half the water in there. We don't need too much because we need some rinsing water. So as you can see, we left half and half. People usually have 2 grit guards, but we're just going to use the one that we have for the dirty bucket. So first things first, you guys can see it's really dirty. We're going to rinse the car first. I'm going to put in $1, so this is super cheap to wash ourselves. I'll put in $1 to just rinse it, and then we'll start scrubbing it with our own mitt. All right. High pressure rinse.
Spot for you doing high pressure?
Yeah. All right, so now that we have everything rinsed, you can come around and see most of the dirt's been rinsed off. So yeah, most of the dirt's been rinsed off. Some of these spots we're gonna be able to scrub off once we actually put the water and the thing on it. Yeah, it's still super dirty. So basically with the 2 bucket method, which we're kind of like half doing and half not, the most important thing is that you start from the top, because the top is going to be the less dirty part. The bottom, as you can see, like the bumper right here, is going to be the most dirty. Start from the top, and you're supposed to go straight lines. You're not supposed to swirl. The thing is, we have PPF, so swirling shouldn't be that much of an issue. But if you don't have PPF, you want to go in straight lines so that you're not swirling dirt around. So go straight across, go straight across. You guys will see. The next thing that we usually do is we have this little squeegee. It's actually pretty nice. It's used by professionals. It leaves no streaks. Let's see if it's still clean, but we use this to wipe down the windows first, since it's a lot of glass on top and the windshield and the windows. We get those dry, and then once I get that done, I will grab our special like super absorbent towels for drying, and then we'll dry the car going from top to bottom, same way that you would wash it, just in case there's any other dirt that's in there. So this, you basically just, but we're going to set the camera down so Christy can help me dry. But as you guys can see, I'm going to be doing the windows while she dries the side that I've already done. Once you guys see out of the shade, you guys will see how nice and shiny it is right now. Definitely a lot better than what it was. We just finished drying it off, and now we have to get the interior. So it's not as shiny as we want it to be right now, because it's definitely not in the sun, but we washed the wheels. You can see that they're kind of shiny there. We're gonna have to do the tires once they dry off, and she's gonna start vacuuming. So we have this dog hammock that we'll probably have to hang up right here and vacuum it off. All right, so now that it's in the sun, hopefully you guys can see the big difference. Definitely the front had a lot of dirt on it. Here's the side, still dripping a little bit, but we can dry it off, but we dried it off for the most part. Wheels are nice looking. We still have to do the tire gloss, so we'll do that. We'll apply that in a second. What we've done so far is we vacuumed. You guys can see we tried getting as much hair as possible. This is that side where there was a bunch of hair. There's still a little bit left, so we need to like buy a shop vac so we can vacuum a little bit more, since we have 2 dogs, one that sheds a lot. But this is what the seats look like. We didn't really need to wipe these down since there wasn't much use. Our dogs were sitting on a hammock. We might have to actually wipe this spot. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a dirt mark right there and a scratch up right there. So those are very visible. Hopefully those come off easily. We'll try them now. What Christy's doing is she's getting all of this stuff off the glass. You guys can see that it has all the nose prints on it. And what we usually do is, once we have our wet towels that we're about to discard or put up for a wash after drying the car, we actually use those. Yeah, so we use one of our towels that's a little bit wet from drying up, and we actually just wipe it across. You guys can see this dirt right here. We wipe it across this and just wipe up all the dirt so that it has a nice little appearance, right? Like here, it gets kicked around a lot. Just wipe it down with the wet towel, and it's looking good, looking a lot better. Our mats, we have the 3D Spider Max mats. We'll talk about that once we put out the video about what we bought when we first got the car. Same here. You see all that dirt? Let's get it wiped up. Good as new, right? It's 60 degrees outside here in Arkansas, so sweating up a storm while we're doing this. It's a lot of cleanup just because it's long overdue from this ride. She just cleaned up the window, looks really good. All right, so a few tests of the white interior. So we have these cleaning wipes that we got. We also have a Car Guys spray that people recommend. This spray that a lot of people recommended, and it was highly rated on Amazon. Super cleaner spray, so we're gonna use that. I'm gonna grab the towel that it came with. The first test is what I was showing you guys earlier. You guys see that scuff right there and see that dirt right there.
Sorry.
We're gonna try to wipe it off. Let's spray the towel a little bit. Good.
Here, still, you might need to scrub a little bit more.
I think something got pressed into there, but for the most part, you guys can see that both those parts are white.
Right.
Oh yeah. So you guys see that stain right there? That's definitely something that somebody would want to avoid with white seats. So I'm gonna give her the camera, gonna spray a little bit on the towel, see if it comes off.
Yeah.
It's all gone. All right, so you guys saw how effective the Car Guys spray was. We're actually going to try the wipe on the front seat. So let's see if you guys can see the difference. So I'm going to wipe this first half. Let's see if you guys see the difference. You guys see that? See where the black dirt starts? This is just a wipe. Like the whole pack costs like $6. On top of that, there's a lot of concerns. You guys can see the line where I stopped wiping. And so what she did with this was she wiped this. It's kind of spreading it a little bit, but wiped it, got it wet, and then picked up a lot of the dirt with the towel, right?
Yes.
Headrest up there. Got to get that part. All right, pick it all up. Okay, one more thing that we do, or this is the final thing that we're doing today, is we are going to make the tire shine. So we use this bottle of tire wet. What we do is we actually spray it on the applicator sponge, and basically you're supposed to wait until the rubber tire is actually done drying, and then you dress it. So what that does is it makes the tire really shiny instead of this faded black. So let's see, I'll show you guys once it's applied. So I throw it on this sponge, get it soaked, and you guys can see it makes the tire look nice and wet. So I spread it all the way across. You don't want to get it on the actual tread, you just want to get it on the sidewall. You guys see that tire? This tire versus the front tire, a lot more shiny. So we're going to apply this to the rest of the tires, and then we are good to go.